All right, so we're going to have a little bit of a history lesson for you, followed by a little bit of entertainment.
Jerk it as far. Exactly.
Okay, we probably ought to have our mob behind the town set out of
All
sight.
right.
Go ahead and take the
Newton
bench
Brown,
with you.
the Marshal of Caldwell, Kansas,
Yeah.
and his deputy, Ben Wheeler,
Got it?
joined by John Wesley and Bill Smith, decided to rob a bank. Now, apparently they didn't put too much thought into this because they were going to rob the bank in the town right next to them.
Take it back there.
This decision led to the worst bank robbery in history. It lasted less than 1 minute and they got away with exactly $0. At 9 a.m. as the bank opened, the bank robbers hitched their horses around back and 3 men entered the bank, leaving 1 man out front as lookout. Immediately upon entering the bank, they demanded that the 2 tellers, E.W. Payne and George Geppert, put their hands in the air. Geppert obeyed, and Payne went for his 6-shooter, sitting right on his desk. Brown shot Payne, and as he turned back towards Geppert, Brown shot Payne, and as he turned back towards Geppert, the other teller, he was collapsing to the ground with 2 shots, one from Wheeler and one from Wesley. The sheriff just happened to be right across the road at the livery and heard the commotion going on inside the bank. He then opened fire on the lookout standing out front. Hearing the commotion from inside and realizing that they had shot the only 2 people with any access to the money, they quickly fled, hopped on their horses, and ran out of town, with 4 mounted people chasing after them in a hail of gunfire. The 4 bank robbers were cornered and taken back to Medicine Lodge and thrown in jail. That very night, the people of the town gathered in a large mob and marched on the jail, demanding that the prisoners be turned over to them. The jailer quickly handed over the keys. As soon as the door was open, Brown and Wheeler both made a run for it, both being shot in the back, killing Brown, but only wounding Wheeler. The 3 remaining men were then led down to the river bottoms and were hung in a big elm tree. 7 men total that day lost their lives. The 4 bank robbers, the 2 bank tellers, and 1 civilian who was so wrapped up in all the commotion going on that he dropped dead of a heart attack. That, my friends, is the story of the worst failed bank robbery in Kansas history. Seeing the comedy in this story, I would like to present to you our version of the story.
You hold these nags out here, would you?
Absolutely.
You do it! I shot one! Hey! Boy! Now you shot them both! How we gonna open the safe? They the only ones who knew the password!
Well, you shot him!
Well, you shot
Hey boys, let us here. We need to go.
We're robbing the bank, yeah?
Oh, shit.
Hey! I'll get on my horse.
No, I stuck it.
I got this. I got We're going.
Take some cover!
We're going. Where are we going? What are we doing? Let's rob the bank. Hey, Sheriff! They robbed the bank!
bank.
Guy in a water trough.
Smells like he's dead.
Let's go.
I'm not going.
Yeah, you're going to jail right now.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm not going.
You're covered. You better get in that jailhouse.
I'm not going.
Get on in there.
What's going on here? Who are them fellas? Do you know?
Folks, a few hours will go by.
Why are they in jail? Yeah, they robbed the bank this morning. They still breathing.
Somebody call the Undertaker. Are you the Undertaker? Hey, get back in that jail! We didn't kill that man either. He had a heart attack. Get in there!
Ain't you got them bars in that jail yet?
We ain't got no money. We didn't steal nothing. Hey, we gonna hang him?
Oh, we can't. They gotta have a fair
They
trial.
should be out. We know that they did it. What's the point? Wait.
Let's hang him now. We need a judge.
No, we don't need no judge. We don't need no judge.
No, you ain't no judge.
You witnesses here.
Let's get him out of there, boys. Come on.
There is only one judge in this life, and you're about to
I
him.
tell you
We're
what,
outnumbered.
We're waiting for the judge because we didn't do
I
nothing.
don't have nothing to do with this.
My picture.
Let them have it.
All right, let's go.
Let's get him.
Come on out of here, boys. Open that door. Pull it. Go ahead. Come on. Whoa. Come on. No. Yeah. Over my dead body.
That's the ring.
Hey. You gotta get a lot more. Get him.
Come on.
Shoot
Let's go.
him.
Get away.
Get back here. Oh.
You get him?
I got him. Hey.
Get him.
Watch him. Watch him. That's one. You know this ain't right. We're supposed to wait for the judge. We're going to give you a fair
meet your
trial
judge.
followed by first-class hanging. That ain't no fair trial.
All right, here, let's take that.
Yeah, your marshal ain't real smart, is he? Hey, hell, he's got another. I'll take it. Give me that gun. That's your dumb marshal there. He got that thing tied down. It won't come out of there.
If we're
No wonder
gonna
he didn't
hang
shoot
him,
with it.
where are we gonna hang him?
Right
This is
down the
Kansas.
creek.
There ain't no trees.
Down by the creek, there's one. Take him to that big cottonwood down there.
Firing squad. Let's
All
do
right.
that.
Well,
Down there by the
let's
creek.
go then. Come on, let's go. March him that way.
Take him. Ah. Can I shoot him with his own gun?
Hey, don't shoot this way. You shoot him. Somebody will take care of him later.
This ain't right. Oh, it's right.
Tell my mom all I did was hold the horse. All I got.
Well, folks, that may not be exactly the way it happened.
Money on us.
This is a true story. Only names have been changed to protect the innocent. Which I don't think was any innocent involved. The guy on the ground should get it off.
I lost the gun again.
You notice?
What a good dead guy.
I lost the gun again.
When I started doing acting,
We'll have to work on him about that.
everything cut off at one time.
He's dull.
Got grass print on my purity face. They want somebody smaller and lighter. They got put on the table.
Only got stepped on twice.
All right, Kelly, I'll turn it over to you again.
Dad,
What?
you have one of my guns. I have both.
Don't worry about it.
I'll send it to you. I used to. What are we going into?
The blade vendor.
What am I in the bench? I ain't even in it. Council.
I'm looking for John.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Is it so? Can I have my
I'll be 75 in 17 days.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you very much. Happy birthday, Bob.
Yes.
My Rigo, my best horse, the best horse I've ever owned.
I am
Well,
not
there
on
he
horseback.
is. Haven't seen you in
Dad.
a while.
Dad, I'm not. Am I on? Mom. Mom. Mom.
Will you shut up
You
before I
done
shoot
yip
you?
yakking.
Rigo is 27. All right, Kelly, it's all yours.
All right. So in October of 1870, John Bender and his son, John Bender Jr., established a homestead of
I couldn't get
160 acres adjacent to the Great Osage Trail, the only open road traveling further west. After the cabin, barn, and well were built, they were then joined by the Elvira Bender and her son, Kate. The Benders divided their cabin into 2 rooms with a canvas wagon cover. They used the smaller room in the back as their living quarters, and the area up front as a general store. Also had a kitchen and a dining table for guests to grab a bite to eat or stay the night if they were a little tired from their travels. When Elvira and Kate got there, they also planted a 2-acre vegetable garden and an apple orchard. It is believed that when guests stayed, they were offered the seat of honor right in front of the canvas with their backs turned to it, also perched right over the top of a trap door. While they were sitting and eating their dinner, Kate would then distract them, and one of the men would come from behind the canvas, strike them over the head with a hammer, and one of the women would show off her lovely knife skills, making sure that their time was ended. They would then open the trap door and drop them down underneath the floorboards where they would stay until they had time to take them out to the apple orchard or to the garden and bury them. Now, by the time law enforcement was starting to put the pieces together and neighbors were getting a little bit suspicious, that gave the Benders plenty of time to flee. Over the years, they did end up arresting 2 women, which they did believe to be Elvira and Kate, but were not able to provide enough proof that they were actually them. And not wanting to jail women for multiple years without any proof, they did release them. Other travelers had claimed that they had come across the Benders, killed them, and disposed of the body, but none of them were able to provide enough proof to claim the reward money. Now in our town, we seem to have a family that has moved in that seems to have the same kind of morals that the Benders did. So why don't we keep an eye on them and see how this plays out?
Nope, I guess not.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I need a room.
How about a nice
I think it's Elijah's. I don't know. That's a fun place to take a nap.
Help me get him up. Help me get him up. This can go in the general store.
You don't want a drink?
Hello, sir. Would you be interested in a room for the evening?
No, thank you. No,
We've got some fine food.
oh, that sounds good, but not today.
Sure, I've been looking for a place to sleep.
Please, come on in. We'll set you
right.
up. there, sir.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. How are you doing this
I'm
morning?
pretty good. Wait, what you doing? I'm walking down the street here.
I was going to offer you some fine dinner if you would like.
Well, I would. I'm
Oh.
kind of hungry.
All right. Well, let's see here. Why don't we,
You want me to wait right here?
I tell you what, it'll be ready in about 10 minutes. Why don't you just come back?
All right, I'll be right here in the jail.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Come get me.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. He's a lot heavier than he
What's going on here? How many of them folks you gonna carry out?
Is he drunk?
Yeah, dead drunk.
Dead drunk? Okay.
Dead drunk.
Whatever.
I hate it when that
Gotta sober him up.
So many drunkards in this town.
Yeah.
What happened to your horse? Did he get away from you? Did he get away from you? Your horse?
He's over at the blacksmith.
Oh, I didn't know what's going on. Hey, what's going on here?
I don't know.
Buddy, you new in town? I don't think I've seen you.
No one look like.
About like this tall, long hair.
Nope. Oh, is that him? I didn't notice the hair color.
I saw somebody match that went into the hotel a while ago.
Look
I
heavy.
think he was that drunk that goes around the corner.
He looked heavy. Heavy drinker, that is.
You don't drink much.
There was a young gentleman here not too long ago.
You don't drink much.
Huh?
That may be why he was that drunk.
There you go.
Dead drunk.
Would you like to come on in and wait, see if he comes on by? After he's sobered up, maybe?
What's going on? What you women been doing?
Oh, no, we just
I hear that.
we have things we've got to go get supplies.
I hear there's some missing guys around here.
You think we have
Heard
anything
something
to
about
do
that.
with
What's
that?
the excitement? Hey, do I got some deputies around here?
There is
If
no
there's
deputy.
you
Hey,
are not
we're gonna-
much of a
we're
marshal.
gonna get to the
That
bottom
many
of this.
people go missing.
Marshal,
around
everybody that goes to you ends up dead.
I know it.
Oh, that is not
Now,
true.
ladies, we're
How
gonna
much
have
you
a
paying for
talking.
this one?
We're gonna have a talking
No.
because there's been some missing men going in this here
we
hotel.
have a dinner we have to make. We need to run and grab supplies.
I think y'all need to stay here.
Hurry, old
Thank you,
son,
gentlemen.
Alex.
Thank you very much for your time.
You
Come back for dinner
better get
later.
out of town.
All right, tell you what, just don't y'all come back.
I got dibs on the hotel.
I would say dibs on the women, but they done left.
You want to go see Foxy again?
Sound like they're a little deadly.
Something was going on with them women.
I'm telling you, people disappearing, dragging out.
Did you see? I mean, I never saw none. I saw a drone.
I was napping. I was right there, sleeping.
I don't know, it does explain why a lot of people go into the hotel and they never see it again.
I was supposed to get me some supper and they never brought it.
What the
And I
hell?
thought something was funny when I come out of the saloon and I thought there was a guy sitting here and then I didn't see him. I don't know what.
I don't like any of these hotels. They charge 50 cents a night, a lot of them.
Well, how's that for?
50, they charged me 75 when I came to
Oh, then you
town.
got robbed.
Sounds like at least I made it out with my life.
Wait to live in a hotel all day.
Man.
All right, where's the rig? So if you don't have anybody down, so
I didn't die.
we didn't have much shooting that time.
I didn't die that time.
You know, we can't let them get away without shooting next time.
Okay.
That's the first time we ever done that with folks, so yeah, we didn't get as much shooting as we didn't normally have. Because Ringo's getting distracted. See that babe there over there? Fight Foxy, that's his girlfriend. Anytime he gets close to her, he gets determined he's going to get close to her. Ringo and Chief have been doing this for 15 years. Foxy's the youngster, he's only been doing it about. Of course, Deuce, the one that John had hurt mountain, like I said, he was 3-year-old.
Yeah.
He's never had to be mounted while being fired at before. right, Kelly, it's all yours.
All right. Okay. So John Wesley Hardin had arrived at Abilene with a herd of cattle to be loaded on a train and sent back east. While waiting on the train to arrive, he made friends with the town marshal, Wild Bill Hickok. For a short time, this relationship kept Hardin from getting into any serious trouble, but it was quickly wearing thin. Hardin had already made a name for himself as a gunman for hire and also for basically killing anybody he just didn't like. During his stay in Abilene, Hardin rented a room at the American House Hotel. A stranger in the room next to him began snoring loudly. Annoyed and more than likely drunk, Hardin began shooting through the wall. The first shot was high and simply woke the stranger, while the second shot killed him dead. The people at the hotel sent for Hickok, who arrived with 3 deputies. Figuring that his friend probably wasn't going to have his back on this one, Hardin, dressed only in his underwear, jumped from his second-story window. As a cowboy rode by, he pulled the cowboy off of his horse, stole the horse, and ran out of town. Hardin ran to a nearby cow camp, where the cook, whom he already knew, and explained to him what was going on. The cook then handed him 2 pistols and told him to hide. When the deputies arrived at the cow camp, they asked the cook if they had seen Hardin. Cook told them no, but the boys would be back from their ride any minute, and they could wait around to ask them if they had seen him. Why don't you just grab a plate, have a seat, and relax? Which they did. Once they were seated and well eating their meal, Hardin snuck up behind them, held them at gunpoint, made them undress, stole their clothes, and made them walk back to town in their underwear. He then mounted his horse and took off for Texas, never to set foot in Abilene again.
They wouldn't let me jump off the balcony. Folks, thank y'all for staying here. I'm supposed to live. Thank y'all for staying.
What's going on?
You like that? You like that?
Said shooting out there.
That was amazing.
What the hell's going on here?
Get Hickok! Get Hickok!
I'm right here. What's going on? Why is that man jumping off? Hey, that's Hardin. I know him. Did you shoot somebody? Well,
What's
why
going
you?
on here?
Why he got his
I didn't
guns
shoot
on?
nobody.
Get up here.
I didn't shoot nobody.
What's going on?
Well, by golly. Hey, don't take that guy's horse. What are you
Hey!
doing?
He's taking my horse.
Hold
Hey,
it right there.
stop right there. We're going to shoot you.
Give me your horse.
Come back. Get him, boys. Is he out of town?
He's out of town.
I've got some evidence. Woo! Well, where did he come out of?
Yeah, there's a dead one out there.
Folks, that concludes our show for today. We'll be here again tomorrow, based at the same time. Thank you for coming.
Oh.
Did you say falling off a dead thing?
Falling off that thing. I wonder if I got any. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I did.
You got me throwing John on the ground.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was good.
Thank you, folks.